Yeah, so here we are, Friday again, and most of the week was on the TR7, and now it's up on. I've got it up on those lifts there because I've got the steering mechanism unhooked underneath there. You need to stick around and find out what happened about that. I'm waiting for a part to come from England, right? Everything has to come from England, but it's looking pretty good, and I've went through it and sort of finishing up little things that need finishing up, like the mirrors. I got mirror on the car, and mirror in the middle there, and then the trim around the inside of the windshield and stuff like that. Put a new piece of vinyl up on the top there, and it actually looks pretty good, and it runs nice. I've had it running for today. I had it running for quite a while. So when I get the new part from England for the steering gear, then I'll do a wheel alignment, and then I can take it in for an MOT. They call it in England, but over here we just call it an inspection. And it's a little bit different here than England because they're not so tough on the what do you call that, the pollution type stuff. Anyhow, that's about all for this week on the TR7. I did a little bit of work on the red car, and I did a little bit of work on the Volkswagen van in there, but I'll save them for another video. I'll just put out the one for the TR7 today, and hope you enjoy it all, and I hope to see you again next week. Bye for now. Now, that's it for this one for today. Don't know what I'll do now. I've got two choices. Either go to work putting on trim on the TR7, which would be a good idea to do, or go over and do some work on the Volkswagen van, which would be a good idea to do. So what'll I do? Well, you'll see. You'll know before I know. Yeah, so here, I'll go and I'll push this out and I'll put some mirrors on there now. Yeah, this car moves so easily. It's very, very nice that way. There. So I think what I'll do is I'll put mirrors on it, and then I'll speed up the what do you call that? The recording. We'll see what happens here. I think the mirrors are in the trunk. Yeah. So cleaning up some stuff here to put on the Triumph. I went to the Triumph, right? So here's this cowling business, and I guess I'm pretty lucky with this because there's only just a little bit, a very tiny bit of surface rust here. I'll sand that off or grind that off, and in here a little tiny bit of, not even rust. Then I'll put a paint on it and it'll be happy. It'll be a good thing. Then over here, I'm working on getting the garbage out of the way. Yeah. Over here, this mirror, there's passenger side mirror. That one there, there you go. That's what good English I have. That one is in pretty nice shape, and I'm just going to put it back to work. This one, I'm having trouble getting that screw out of there. Where is it? Right there. Getting trouble getting that screw out of there. So I'll put a bit of heat to it. Yeah, right there. And see if that'll work. And then I'll put give it some paint, because this is off the driver's door, and the driver's door came from a different car, a long time ago. So it's had a bit more service than the original door. There you go. So now, what'll I do first? This here, I'll see if I can get that screw out of there, paint that up and let it dry, and then I'll go after that thing over there. How about that? Yeah, there I was just checking out stuff here. I put an extra battery on this thing. It's charging now. So first off is this thing. See if I can get that cleaned off a bit and get the screw out of there. Then I'll paint it. Yeah, there. That's all it took, was a little bit of heat, and then I put a bit of heat to it, and not very much. And then I poured some more of that stuff there on there. What is that? Blaster Pro Point Penetrating Oil. So the heat and penetrating oil, and that came out, and I've run it in and out a couple of times now, so it's nice and easy to move. And so now I'll paint this. I'll put a coat of paint on this, and then we'll go after that thing over there with the sander. There you go. Yeah, there it is. Painted up. I'll let that dry for a while. See how it comes out. Oh, I might need a little bit more there. I'll just do that. Okay. Yeah, now I went and I took a, what do you call those sanding discs? I forget what you call them, but they're not too hard on stuff. And I sanded off all the stuff that was not great. And then now I've hung it up here. See, there was a bit of pitting on the inside of it here. I've sanded off mostly, but the outside is nice out here. So, and then I took a hand sander to it and sanded it off a bit too. Then I put some, whatever you call that, degreaser on it. So now I'll give it a coat of paint or two and see how it looks after that. Yeah. So there's one coat of paint. That's the inside. That's the outside. Can't see that very well because the light is shining the wrong way. Hang on. Whoops. Yeah, there's some better light on it. So that looks all right after one coat. I'll let that sit for about 15 minutes, and I'll flash another coat on there, and that'll be good. So now I've got did I show you the mirror? I've got that over here now. There's the mirror with painted up. It looks pretty good. It's not perfect, but it's certainly okay. Anyway, now I'll put this mirror on because I didn't have to do anything to that mirror, and then I'll think about that other mirror. Yeah, there we are. It's got mirrors on the doors anyhow. No mirror in the middle yet. This piece here looks pretty good when I have to let that dry for a while. Hey God. Anyway, sorry about that. Had to stop and sneeze. Have to let this dry for a while or else I'll get it full of fingerprints. And that's no good. But that'll look all right when it's done. And it's got a mirror on this door. Mirror on the door. So I can see behind now, which is quite good. And I'll tackle this, see if I can get these lights here to start working. There's an interior light, goes right around, I don't know where, somewhere. I'll look for it and see if I can figure it out. Oops, sorry, pointing the wrong way. There's an interior light in here somewhere, and there's the two lights here that make the license plate light up, which is conspicuously not there. Yeah, there now. They let me see, those are the parking lights, right? Parking lights, parking lights, parking lights, parking lights, and where am I pointing here? Yeah. There you can see the license plate lights. This one's new. That one's from before. And the new one's nice and clear. The old one's a little bit clouded over, but that'll be sufficient. That's good by me. And the courtesy light in here, it does work, but I need a new bulb for it, so that'll be okay. Yeah, and there, see, it shines lights onto where the license plate goes. Yay! So that's, I think I'm getting to be pretty near legal as far as going for inspection is now. Now I should do, well, I don't want to do a wheel alignment until such time as I get that piece that I need over there. So that'll wait. Otherwise, parking lights, everything works up front here. Yeah, so otherwise it's starting to come together as a car. And the brakes need to be adjusted or bled or something like that. They're a little bit, you have to push fairly good on them. But otherwise, seems to be okay. This part here is going to look nice when I get it in there eventually because it covers all that underneath the window there, eh? And then I need to do some touch-up paint up here. Same on the other side. And a couple other places where I scratched it. And one of these days, and there's another spot right there, I scratched it. And one of these days I have to do the buffing on the doors and stuff like that. And another spot here, looks like I scratched it. I'm pretty good at scratching paint, aren't I? Yep. Oh well. And then I did discover that the engine block's supposed to be black and the top of it there, the valve cover, is supposed to be silver. But I kind of like it black, so it'll stay that way. And I did also have a comment on the whatever you call that, on the YouTube. I had a comment, and these switches here, I've got them upside down. So I will get that sorted out and get them right side up here one of these days. Thank you very much. Yeah, so I guess today was the day. So here, they're the right way around now. Thanks to Eagle Eye viewer, Chris Jackson, I think it was. Thanks, Chris. Any help is appreciated. Yeah, there you go. That's enough TR7 for today. I'll just go out and do some lawn mowing. Getting this thing started for me. Time to mow the lawn. Getting a bit raggedy out there. Anyhow, that's all for today. I'll see you again tomorrow. Yeah, so here we are. There's windshield wipers on there. Now this one here is a real pain to get on there because this guide bit goes underneath and then it has to slide in there and then you have to push them both together, and it takes the strength of 10 men to do that. And I don't have that much strength, but that side there was all right and easy. The hardest part was to find these two nuts, which one was found, but the other one had gotten into the miscellaneous bucket, which is a 2-gallon bucket full of nuts and bolts. Anyhow, I found it, and there it was, and it works. Now, I don't know if they actually work. We'll find out here what happens when you turn this on. Oh, look at that. Windshield wipers go up and down. I'll be shit, eh? There we go. Yeah, we got windshield wipers. There's no washers yet, but I'll get some windshield whopper stuff happening one of these days. Anyway, there you go, windshield wipers. And more importantly, this piece of cowling kind of fits on there quite nicely. Just goes right into place, and I had found screws for right here and on the other side the same, so that it's tight against the mounting the way it's supposed to be. That side there isn't as tight as this side here is. This side here is right up next to the window. That side there, a little bit of a gap on it there. And I think that's likely from when the car was smashed over there. There's all sorts of things that just don't don't fit quite right over there. Anyway, there we are. Yeah, so that's what it looks like with the hood down and the windshield wipers on. So yeah, starting to look like a real car. Now, next thing I have to do is get the seat belts in. I haven't got them in yet. They go right in there somehow or other. That'll be a chore now. Yeah, there we go. Seat belts are in there, and this thing along the edge here, whatever you call that, the door step. Yep, closes. That must be all right then. And the other door step, this other seat belt is in here too. clip it in here. Maybe. 2 seat belts, right? Where is it? Right there. 2 seat belts and a soldering iron. And then this other door thing is in, right? Whatever they call that. I don't know. Doorstep. Flash guard. Door closes. Then a little bit earlier today we got the windshield wipers on there. Have to get some windshield whopper cleaning fluid happening one of these days. I don't know what to do about that. But I think pretty well everything is done to make the inspection except for fixing this tie rod end here that I'm still thinking about. Likely I'll get onto that tomorrow and pull it apart, and then I can do a wheel alignment and stuff like that. But that's all for today. Did a bit of work on the red car, mostly just going over stuff I've already done just to redo it because I like redoing stuff. And got parts for the Volkswagen. Still a few more parts to come before I go back to work on that, but there we are. And Tony's in here making sure that everything is all right in the shop. My supervisor. Yeah. There we go. Alrighty, talk to you later. Yeah, so here it is, the TR7, right? And I've got it up on, just on a lift on one side. I don't know if I've mentioned this before. I think I have. But underneath here, oh, let me get underneath here and have a look. Where the tie rod meets the rack. So here's tie rod, right? Can you see that? What am I looking at? Yeah. So here's tie rod. And that's the bellows there. I've pulled them back. And that's where it meets the rack right there. So you see this cup bolt, I'll call it for a better word. It's supposed to have a locking nut, or a cup nut there. It's supposed to have a locking nut behind it that holds it from loosening off, when you're driving along. Kind of a safety related thing. So it's not there for whatever reason. So I'm going to take that whole assembly off of here. I'll show it to you once I get it off. But this thing here it's just a round thing, so, same old secret weapon. You use the pipe wrench to get that off of there. And so I'll get it off and then I'll show you what it looks like. Yeah, so here we are. So it's got a little like a ball joint at the end of it here. And then this is supposed to go on just snug so that the ball joint will move around easily. But if you tighten that too tight, then it's not good, right? Then this bellows is on there, and there's the locking nut for the tie rod onto the tie rod end, right? So I'll pull the bellows off, and I'll take this off, and I'll see if I can go find a nut that'll fit that. Yeah, so that was a fruitless trip. But anyway, couldn't get a nut that size. It's M24 1.25 pitch, which is a real oddball size. But I did get a set of windshield wipers that I'll put on now. And I've got some antifreeze. I want to change the antifreeze in this. I've never ever looked to see what it is. So I'll do that, and then I'll wait. And I ordered an end piece like this. Should come with this and the locking nut bit from England. So it'll be on the way, I hope. Anyhow, that's all for that for now. Yeah, so here now I've got a, where am I? Is that recording? Yep. So I've got an aftermarket type of windshield whopper stuff, right? You see that? It fits down there, that little white bucket down there. Seems to fit in that hole okay. Now, it comes with, new things for making the squirty things go, but it doesn't come with ones that Go with that angle. See how the angle is on that where the holes are? And I'm not going to drill new holes. And don't you know, I put the ones that came out of it somewhere safe where I wouldn't lose them, right? That usually means about 3 days of searching to find or more. And then eventually I'll just stumble across them and I'll be happy again. But for now, I don't know where they are. Somewhere on the planet. They are somewhere on the planet. And I'll just search around for them. I'll get this all set up and the electric's working. I think I can get it to work off the button that comes like when you press the back of the thing there. When you press oh dear me. So the windshield wiper switch there, when you press on that, then it gives electricity to go to the pump motor. So I think I can make that all work okay, if I can find those little nozzles. And they've got to be somewhere. Yeah, so I knew I'd put them somewhere very safe. Here they are. And they were hanging up over here, just hanging there, you know. Cleverly disguised as those couple of things on there in a safe location. So yes, now I can complete that. That only took an hour to find those things. Yeah, there you go. That's all plumbed up now. So it comes up from below there, and I've got water in it. I put water in it. You can see how much, just about 3/4 full. Anyhow, and then it goes out to here, right? So, I suppose I could run a test and see if it actually works, right? Take the wires. Yeah, they'll reach. Wait till I get the camera hooked up where you can see this. Yeah, wait and see if the spray comes up over the top of that. Might come up in a second or two here. I don't know what'll happen. I'll likely get a shower of it, right? Okay. Well. The negative wire just doesn't quite reach all the way to the negative post, but maybe it'll work on here, right? Oh, look at that. Whoa, I'm getting showered. You're getting showered. Everybody's getting showered. Well, that works. Yep. So, I think they both worked. I'm not sure. Looks like this side worked. Yeah, there's water squirting somewhere on this other one. Oh, where it squirted to. Once I get them on once I get everything set up, I'll check it out. Anyway, there we got water squirting out of the squirters. So I'll just see if I can get the wiring hooked up so that it works correctly. Yeah, so I can't really see this down here when I turn on the switch. So you guys will know before I do if that's a working model there or not. Turn on the ignition. Oh, I can see it. Oh yeah, there you go. Light. That's when I press the thing for wiper washer, that light comes on, so that means that that's my positive for that thing. Right? Okay. You gotta go up there and put it. So I'll get some wiring hooked up here and then see what happens. Okay, we'll see what happens now. Like I've got the, can you see down there? The hood's down. I'll clean up the wiring tomorrow sometime. A little bit of cleaning, not much to do there. Well, that was a failure, eh? Wonder why. Yeah, now after a failure, I went and I rechecked the wires. One of them was not connected very well. Try it again. Whoa, that squirts right into my hair. So, anyhow, it works. And the windshield wipers wipe. I'll see if I can get that thing to squirt. I guess when you're driving along the road, it would squirt on the window because it's the wind would push it in there. Anyhow, there you go. How do you like that? Clean window now, hey? So, now we got windshield wipers. on there and windshield wiper washers on there. So I'm doing better here than I am on the Beamer, because the Beamer, the windshield wiper, well, I guess they work sort of, but not as good as these, not as well as these ones. Anyway, there, that's good. There you go. I'll call that a little bit of a success today. What did I get done today? I got the tie rod end pulled out of there, and then finally found one online that I ordered. So it's coming. And then on the little car over here, I don't think I did anything there today. No, I didn't. Anyway, we'll just carry on. But I did get a bunch of parts for the Volkswagen van. So now tomorrow, I'm kind of tomorrow I think I'll change the fluid in this one, which I've been meaning to do, and maybe just clean up a couple other little things. And I haven't got figured out how to get this roof here the snaps in there yet. And that will be a foray into a discovery soon. And then in along here, there's got to be, can you see that? Am I looking the right way? I don't know. Where am I? Yeah, you can see up here. That's, should have vinyl on there, and the mirror should go up there. So I'll think about that. And then Tony likes this car. Don't you, Tony? And also on that side over there, the door light, this door light here seems to be pretty good. That one there was broken and isn't much good there. So I'll think about doing something about that. So there you go. That's all for now. Yeah. So here today now, I got a little work table up here from the basement, and I am going to, this is the piece of vinyl that went along it's actually in good shape, that piece of vinyl. It went along on the top of the windshield there, right across there. So today's the day to cut a new piece of vinyl. I've got this big roll of vinyl here that I ordered a while ago, black vinyl. I'm going to use it to fix the seats in the dash in that little red car there, and I'll use it for that piece of vinyl that I need across the top of the windshield in here. See how that works out, or if it works out. You never know. Yeah, so there. Now I cut out a piece of vinyl that's bigger than the right size. I'll tape it on here, and then I'll trace it with a, what do you call that thing, a marking pen. See if I can cut it to the right size, and then see what happens. Okay? Yeah, so right or wrong, here's what I'm doing. This part here is the piece that goes like along the trim that goes along the front of the windshield. A little bit faster, eh? Focusing failed. Yeah, I'll bet it did. Anyway, the trim along the front of the windshield is here. And then I've been just tucking this piece of vinyl into it, starting at that end. This marks the center, and I already had it in there once, but the ends didn't match up, so doing it again. Anyhow, I just tuck it in with a piece of screwdriver, and that'll give me something to work with anyhow, and then I'll see if I can hook this into the car somehow. Yeah, there, that's all tucked in along there. Now I'll put it up into the car and see if I can get it. I tucked it in with this, like I have these tools for doing that kind of stuff, right? Anyway, I'll see if I can get it into the car now. That would be the next interesting thing. Yeah, that's slowly working. It's difficult, but you can't see anything from this side, and it seems that presses into place all right. Then this will wrap around here. It'll pull pretty tight here, which is what I want it to do, pull tight. So what I'll do is when I get, where are you looking here? Boy, oh boy, it's hard to see that, eh? Anyway, when I get get it all the way across, and I'm happy, then I'll put some glue on this area carefully. Put some glue up above. Can you see that up above? Where am I pointing? Where's this thing pointing? Yeah, up above there. There. Put some glue up above. And then pull it tight and let it, and glue it on, and then I'll get this other piece onto, whoops, where am I pointing now? And I'll get the other piece onto here. And that's this piece of rubber here, this piece of rubber, which seals the upper part. Then the mirror and stuff goes on, and the mirror helps to hold it, and also the sun visors. Now I don't know whether I'll put the sun visors back in it or not, because I think they're, well, useless at the best, right? Well, who knows? Who's got some advice on that? I'm sure somebody does. And then one door card here, that thing didn't grab there very well, so I'll get that fixed after too. Also, yeah, now there, I got it all the way across there. I've been kind of dreading this job because it's not easy to fit this stuff. Anyway, but that seemed to get it all the way across, so now I'll see if I can see how it's going to fit when I pull the oh dear me, pull the fabric up, right? So I'll start from the center, and it seems to wrap over there all right. It wraps over there all right. This one here is a bit tight, but it'll wrap over there. It'll wrap over there, so that seems to be okay on that side. I don't know if I was pointing the right way there for that. Try it here. So here's the center, right? And it wraps over there. It wraps over there. Yeah, and it wraps over here. And then these edges, I'm not really sure what happens here because there seems to be quite a bit of extra fabric there. I'll see what's going on with the old one. It looked like it just, wrapped around a bit. Maybe I cut too big a piece there. I'll trim it off before I glue it. Yeah, there now I put a bunch of paper up there just to protect it from any overspray of the glue, because the last thing I want to do is get glue on the new windshield, right? Anyway, so I'll spray some glue on that, then you got to let it sit for 5 minutes and then start stretching it. See what happens. Yeah, there now I've got that sprayed with glue pretty good. Only one little bit went over. I can get that off with a razor blade, I think, and a bit of that, whatever you call that stuff, window cleaner stuff. Bon ami. So now I'll give it another about 2 minutes, and then I'll start trying to make it fit. Yeah, there, that's all in and glued and all done. Now, where am I looking here? Can you see that? I don't know. Sometimes I can't tell where this camera's pointing, eh? Okay, we're out through the windshield. Got to go up, 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 up. There we are. All along here, right? That's all in. Now there's a couple of, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a couple of wrinkles in it here. Mostly this side here is nice and smooth, right? That side there I got wrinkled in it. But for the most part, it looks pretty good and it feels all right. So that's all right. I'll live with that. The mirror goes right here. You can feel a little lump in there's a hole right there, and then 2 screws beside it. So I'll get Ian's secret weapon out and use the, what do you call that? The soldering iron to open those holes up so I can put screws in there. Then I'll decide on what to do about the, what do you call those things? Sun visors. I'll decide on what to do about them. Because sometimes, like, I don't know that I really need them in here. I'll think about it. Yeah, there it is. Mirror's installed now. I think I'll leave those sun visors off for now, till I see how much sun gets in my eyes. They're not too bad a shape. They're actually in pretty good shape, and a little bit of cleaning, they'd be fine. But I'll think about it. Now I have to put this piece of plastic that goes along here, and same on the other side goes along there. So I'll just clean those pieces of rubber off. There's a piece of rubber right there. Clean those rubbers off, and then there's 2 screws, hold them on. Then there's a piece of rubber that's supposed to go up along here, and a trim that goes on there. So I'll get that. And that'll be pretty near all the trim done, I think. Anyway, that's all for now. Yeah, there. Now that piece over there is in, and same with on this side here. I don't know. Can you see that right here? Yeah, that's in. That was hard to get that thing lined up. Now there's a couple of pieces of strips of trim that go on here, right? Same on the other side. And what else? And then there's a piece of rubber that goes in here. It gets glued in. And I've been avoiding doing that so I wouldn't get glue on everything. Think about it. Yeah, now here's a dilemma. This part here, which goes along here, is supposed to have this little piece of trim on there, right? And it's a pressure fit thing. So if you're going to paint your car, tape this up so it doesn't get loads and loads of paint on it, because a little couple of coats of paint makes it too thick for that to fit back on. So now I'm going to have to somehow clean all that paint off without scratching the rest of the paint. Well. Yeah, so I have, I took a little file, right, and ground down those edges there. That maybe this thing will fit on there now. I don't, but I might have to still remove the paint from the front of it here. We'll just see. Yay, that worked. So it just is a very, very tight fit. Now hopefully I've got it in the right spot. Yeah, it looks okay. A little bit of a gap there, that's good. So now that's all. That's that piece of trim on. Now I'll have to go over and do some filing on the other side and see if I can avoid scratching the door or scratching the paint. Yeah, now that I knew what I was doing, this side here went on nice and easy. Well, took the file to it. I had to clean out the file because it was full of paint. And there's what it looks like. So I think that's every bit of trim on it now. Cool. So it looks pretty good. Now, I'm waiting for this front end part to come, and I'm going to drop the cooling fluid, put new cooling fluid into it. How about that, eh? Yeah, there, I got that door back into place, more or less. Those clippy things don't hold very well. I don't know. Has anybody got any better ideas than that? Then I didn't get any farther with changing the fluid in the front here, just because I got lazy. So it's about 5 o'clock now, and I think I won't tackle the fluid here tonight. I'll give that a go tomorrow. But it looks like, well, here this thing here is the hose for that. That seems to be working okay. Maybe I can adjust that nozzle so it doesn't point. If I adjust the nozzle so it doesn't point over the roof, that'd be better, eh? I can do that. Yeah, here it is now. This, right in the end of this thing, there's a slot for a screwdriver, and right here, I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that? Well, you're likely not, but there's a little tiny hole. That's where the fluid comes out. So you take the screwdriver and adjust it, like turn it up or down that way. Anyway, that's maybe in the right spot. I'll try it out sometime in the future. That's all for today. There. Now, didn't do anything on that today. Most of the day spent on this here Triumph. Finishing up getting the interior in. It's all in. Yep, everything's there. So the only thing I have to do is put the back door of the glove box in there. That's something I have to do one of these days. There you go. All for today. Time to head home. Yeah, kind of a, what you call a grim day here. Anyhow, today's Friday, and I'm a little bit lazy today, but I did go out early this morning and got the new inspection certificate on the Beamer, so it's good for another year of safe driving. Hey, there we go. Yeah, and now back to the business at hand here. So on the TR7, yesterday I promised that I'd change the fluid in the radiator, right? So there's two things you have to do. This is from the book. Take the cap off there, right? And they say to remove this right here, but there isn't any removal for that right there, whatever that is. And they say you can take the bottom radiator hose off, let it go into a bucket, but then also there's a drainage for the block. I don't know if you can see that in there. Like, there's a bolt right in front of the starter there. Looks like a fairly large bolt. Maybe I'll go underneath and see if I can see it from there. Yeah, so there it is. You can see it. Oh boy, I need a extra couple of hands to get up there, but you see that nut that's right in front of the starter. There's a big one up there, and below it there's another one, and that's the drain for the block. So I've got a big bucket here. Put my big bucket underneath there, and I'll see if I can get looks like about a 17 gets that, but I'm not really sure what size it is. I'll check out a couple and see what I come up with. It says in the book, it says you need an extension and a swivel, and yep, I guess you do. Now right now this is the I've got this off. That's the end of the steering, whatever you call that, rack. That's the end of the steering rack, and there's a new part coming for that from somewhere over on the other side of the planet. So hopefully I'll be able to get that all sorted out here soon. And then it should be ready for inspection, which would be good because the big old Beamer made it through the inspection, and that's all right. So this one here should too, because I think everything's ready on it. Okay, so I got to get a couple of wrenches, and then I'll see what I can do about getting that undone there. Well, there now, I've got it loosened a bit so that it's coming out, the water or fluid. And I had a great big long extension on there like that. There's how much extension I had on it. From there to here, right? And I've just got it loosened out enough so the water's dripping out of it right now. So I'll see if I can get my hand up there and twist it out the rest of the way. It was very tight in there. There it is. Going everywhere. Don't you know? Ow! No, I'm stuck underneath here. There's a regular torrent coming out of that thing now. Which is okay. Now it's starting to... So there, that works pretty good without making too much of a mess. Now I still have to loosen off that hose over here and get the bottom of the everything out of the bottom of the radiator. But that should, I wonder, is that looking the right way? Who knows, eh? Water's coming out of there somewhere, I'm sure. Anyway, you can see it falling in there. Yeah, sometimes I don't know if this camera is working or not. Anyway, that seems to have most of the water out of it. It looks like a pretty weak solution there. So I'm glad I got new stuff. So now I'll plug that hole up again, and then I'll move over and see if I can get the water out of the bottom of the radiator here from the bottom hose. Yeah, so there's the washer that was on it, one of those, it's like a paper washer. So I went over and I found a copper washer that would fit, and I put a copper washer on it. I wonder, can you see up there now? I wonder what I'm looking at there. See the back of the starter? Yeah, and then that nut, I put some, what do you call that stuff? That's, yeah, I think I can see that. Yeah, I put some pipe compound on it and then tighten it back in with a copper washer on it. So that should be good. Now I have to see if I can get this, where am I here? Get that hose off of there, and that'll let the rest of the water out of the bottom of the radiator anyhow. Okay. Yeah, and I do say water because that's got a little bit of color to it, but not very much. So good thing it was in the shop all winter, because there wasn't much in the way of antifreeze in there, I don't think. Yeah, so I did get a bit ahead of you there. So not too tough. I just pulled that, what do you call that thing there? Focusing failed. So it's pointing at my finger, right? So I pulled that hose clamp off, or just moved it back. And then I was able to just pry the hose back a bit, and goosho, it all came out. Made a mess, but not too serious a mess. Now, the next thing I have to do is I'll figure out how much fluid I have there, and that's how much has to go back into the damn thing. So the fluid that I have over here, which is antifreeze, that stuff there, you have to mix that 1-on-1. So one part to one part makes it for 35 below. So that's what I'll do. Yeah, so how much fluid came out of it was this thing here full, which is 3.78 liters. So likely 4 liters when it's up to the top there. So that'd be 8 pints and a bit, right? And it's a 7-liter thing, but only that much more came out. And that looks like it's only about another half of, not even a half. So what I think I'll do, I think I'll fill this half with water. Then I'll fill the rest up with antifreeze and pour it in, and just keep doing that until I get it full. Yeah, so there, I just used tap water, which I live in the country, and you can see way up there, there's a little thing, the black thing that hangs up there, and that's my water well, and it goes into the house, and then there's another line that comes out to here, right? And that, when it goes into the house, it goes through a filter system, so it's any sort of debris in that water is taken out with 2 filters, one for taking out the muck and one for taking out anything down to like 5 microns or something like that, a charcoal filter thing. So that water is good, and it's not like city water either. There's nothing in it except for water. So there you go. Yeah, so here it says 50-50 mix, so 1 part water, 1 part antifreeze, minus 37 Celsius, which is the coldest it ever gets. Right here is about minus 10 or minus 15, so I think we'll be covered. Yeah, there, I've got about 6 liters into it now, or a little bit better than 6 liters, and the capacity is around 7. So I unhooked up here on the top. It's a pretty airtight system, right? Well, it should be, or watertight. Anyhow, I unhooked this hose at the top so that it would have air, room for air to get through there. So I'll redo that. I'll start the motor up and let it run for a little while, and then check the level over there. There we go. Seems to be all done. And it's not, I don't know if you can see down below where I took that plug out, but there's no leaking happening down there now, anyhow. So, tighten up that screw, start up the motor, and see what happens. There we go, it's running. Takes a while for that tachometer to come alive, but the volts are working. Oil pressure's up around 50 or so, which is okay. Clock's still working. It'll be a while before that temperature comes up, because it takes a while for that. Anyway, one of these days I'll get the idle settled out on it. For the most part it's all right. But I remember when I was a kid, we had little British cars around. I forget what they were called, but they were some sort of a British car. And it was an awful lot of trouble getting those things to idle right. pretty good in here now. I think I'll leave those visors off of here for now. I don't think I want them. If it gets that bad, I'll get a pair of sunglasses. Excuse me. Anyway, I'll just watch this for a while. Might have to put some gas in here one of these days too. I was looking at the gas gauge. I was looking at the heat gauge, thinking it was a gas gauge, but there's the gas gauge is that one there. So it's got some gas in it. I don't know, can you see that? Maybe. Yeah, there it's running now. That's starting to warm up in there. It hasn't dropped much of from what I had in there before, so we'll let it run for a little while and then see what happens. Another thing I have to do is get the brakes bled out one of these days. We'll get to that. That'll be one of them chores. Excuse me. Anyway, there you are. Yeah, their temperature gauge is starting to move now, so warming up a bit. See if the water is, see what the water level is or the fluid level is in here. Yeah, a little bit warm, but not hot yet, so waiting for that to open up the thermostat. I do have a new thermostat for it that I haven't got to put in yet. One of these days I'll do that. Suppose I should have just done it while I had it apart here, right? Oh well. Yeah, so it's running pretty nice and smooth now. I don't know what's going on around here. And this, I must have this octopus right now. It goes from the crankcase ventilation to this Y that I've got in here. I did have that valve in there, the check valve for the brake. Had that in the wrong spot right there. That's why that extra connection there. And then it goes, one hose goes to that side, one hose goes to that side, fairly well balanced. The old one was, the mud hornets were nesting inside the old one. So that was likely not a good thing. This thing here is something to do with the pollution control, so I've just unhooked everything there and I think it's sealed tight. I might have to get a thing to put on there to seal that over, but for now it's all right. Doesn't seem to affect everything. Yeah, it's still, the water's still cool in there, so not really circulating yet. See what the temperature gauge says. Temperature gauge is up about quarter way, so got a ways to go yet to warm up. Yeah, now that pulley that runs the fan, I don't think it runs anything else in behind there except for the fan. It sounds like it's had a better life another time somewhere. So it might be needing replacing here one of these days. That's as warm as it gets in there. Not really circulating yet, so I'm waiting for it to start circulating. Yeah, I guess I'll be waiting a long time for that to circulate over to there, because there's a hose here and a hose down below. That's just like a reservoir to make sure there's enough water, enough fluid in the whole system, right? But this thing here is plenty hot down here touching the radiator. So everything's circulating, the water's full, and the temperature has been rock solid for, it's been running for a half hour now. So I think I'm happy. And it seems I got the idle sort of sorted out around 1200. I could likely drop it a little bit, but I'll leave it there for now because we get down below 1000 and it's well, I'll drop it down a little bit and see what happens here, right? Wonder what I did with my little screwdriver. Yep, little screwdriver has disappeared. Gone into the disappeared. I had it sitting right here. Hang on, I'll find my little screwdriver. Yep, there it is, little screwdriver. So I reach in here and there's one idle jet here. Turn that back a tiny bit. Turn that one back a tiny bit. Got to do both the same all the time. Yeah, that's likely around 1,000 there now, there's idling. Yeah, it's right on 1,000. So now I can take the air filters off and run that thing on it to make sure they're synchronized, but I think it sounds all right. A little bit off, but not badly, so I'll be happy with it the way it is right there. And then when this thing runs, like it's got that carburetor and that carburetor, and there's a crossover here. So that one sort of feeds these two here, and that one feeds those two there. But there's a balancer here that'll cross over and balance the two of them out. So when you accelerate and the pistons lift in there, then they balance themselves out because the vacuum equalizes across them. Anyway, there you go. Seems to be running pretty good now. I just have to wait for the one part to arrive and then I can schedule an inspection for it. See if anything's happening here today. Not a thing. Another quiet day in the pond. One of these days there'll be a bird taking off here somewhere. There's a few little birdies hanging around, but none of the big guys. Yeah, that's a red-winged blackbird up there, chirping away. But it is nice over the bay today. And it's a tough life being a dog, right?